we're calling the game a role-playing shooter, and the idea is to take a shooting game, a first-person shooter, and blend role-playing elements. And there's been some games that have started to blend these genres together in different ways. One of my favorite games last year was a game called Fallout. I loved this game, and it came from the role-playing side, so it was a little bit slower paced than than what I normally like. A little bit slower paced, but I really love developing my character. I love leveling up, and I like finding things, and I like finding better equipment and improving my character. Borderlands comes at it from an opposite side. It comes at it from the shooting side, so it is a very solid shooter. If you've played Call of Duty or Halo or Half-Life or any of the shooters we've made over the years, you're gonna feel really comfortable. It's gonna feel really good to move and aim and dodge and shoot and take down the bad guys, and it feels really tight there. But all those games, you know, when you think about the Master Chief and you think about Gordon Freeman, they are the same at the end of the story as they were at the beginning. They don't grow, they don't become more powerful, and they don't make a lot of choices. They just kind of follow the linear path. In Borderlands, we've added role-playing elements to help us grow. There's tons of loot in the game, millions of weapons to find and discover that can make you more powerful. You can also pick your character and develop that character, and you'll grow with more skills and capabilities as you progress. So these things are very, very compelling. There's a lot of inspirations, and every artist and designer and programmer has their own inspirations, and we have shared inspirations too. Clearly there's a bit of a Mad Max vibe to it, this kind of a post-apocalyptic feel.
The first thing we saw in the game a couple of years ago was more like realistic. Why did you decide to change the graphics?
Yeah, well, that's a really good question. I didn't decide to change it, but when I saw what the artists were doing, I went with it. We first imagined this world with concept art, and artists illustrated these amazing pieces of work that kind of had this personality and the style to it. And it's always exaggerated, kind of like if you've ever seen when an automobile maker makes a concept car. And the concept cars are always wild and awesome, but they never actually build them. But I kind of figured it out because we had all this wild and fascinating and beautiful concept art with all this attitude and personality. But when we started crafting our own game, we also did kind of like what those automobile makers do. And we kind of did a little, you know, we're a little safer, became a little conservative, and kind of boiled it down to something simpler and more realistic. And our artists weren't going to be satisfied with that. They weren't going to compromise, and they created this new distinctive look in Borderlands. It's kind of a concept art style, and these guys built this without me knowing about it, and then they showed it to me, and I'm like, that is awesome. We have to do this. So we went for it. We went for it.